Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm taking a first impressions look at Paranoia 2 Savior. Now, Paranoia was a game I originally took a look at back quite a while ago. It was a Half-Life 1 Russian language with English subtitles, pretty well put together mod, and I ended up doing a full playthrough of it, which if you haven't seen that, maybe check it out, as I don't think it was as terrible as some of the other playthroughs I've done. But it was a pretty neat game with a neat sort of modern military plus, you know, a little bit of horror. We fought terrorists, saboteurs, a helicopter, zombies, and a variety of mutated Russians. The first game ended with kind of a cliffhanger, though, that kind of defeated half the point of what we did in the game, so I'm wondering how that ties into Paranoia 2 here. One big change is this is no longer a Half-Life 1 mod. Paranoia 2 actually runs on the Zash engine, which is their own home-cooked little engine for this, so I'm wondering how much differently it'll play from the original. Anyhow, let's get in here. Let's just go on medium, I guess.
Что с ним? Он будет жить?
Да, но он в тяжелом состоянии, хотя мы стабилизировали его. Где антидот, что должно очистить его кровь от мутагена. А далее все зависит только от него самого.
Does that mean 3 weeks later after the first game, or 3 weeks after those people talking? Alright, so once again we're waking up after some sort of medical incident, just like the first game. Well, the first game we were already recuperating from an injury in the field, and, you know, we're getting back into the whole routine before we got sent on our first mission. So I'm wondering if this will do a similar thing. Now, we actually had an option when I installed the game to do it with Russian language and Russian subtitles, Russian language with English subtitles, or English language with Ukrainian subtitles. But I went with Russian language, English subtitles, because again, the first game was all Russian language, and I have a feeling the English is probably not as good. I'm not sure why this has a gear on it. This looks kind of similar to a Unity engine game, I guess. So we woke up in some sort of hospital, but it looks like no one's around. Just a random x-ray. I wonder how many armories this hospital will have. Alright, so we don't have a flashlight or anything right now. I assume we'll find our equipment at some point. Alright. First sign of blood. I'm sure it's just, you know, it's a hospital. Blood tends to spill. Alright, this looks very similar to the same staircase layout in the first games. But that might just be, you know, typical sort of Soviet Russian architecture. Is that us panting, or is us being tired going down all these stairs? You know, we've been in a hospital bed for 3 weeks or something. So the first game was about, originally we were a Spetsnaz guy, and our team was called in to deal with a terrorist hostage situation at a factory complex that, of course, was a cover for a Russian research lab experimenting on the next generation of soldiers, and they tried to create clone soldiers, but there was also another lab from before that that ended up making zombie soldiers controlled by a psychic blob. I cannot read any of this. I think it is all in Cyrillic. Cyrillic. I.e. Russian. The first game also had notes, but they were, you know, more texty. Which is interesting because I can't think of any other Half-Life mods that have notes like that. Half-Life 1 mods, sorry. Okay, so we can't get through here. Some of those weird old Russian water vending machines. we have an option between standard water and carbonated water, which costs a little bit more, and you have to bring your own cup. For some reason, we're really freaking out. Alright, let's go outside. Alright, so now we're back in time just after the end of the first game.
Плохие новости, парни. Камеры наблюдения, установленные на уровне К4, показывают, что выжившие уродцы из лаборатории Крот-1 каким-то образом выбрались за ее пределы. Командование полагает, что эти твари достаточно умны, чтобы пробраться на верхние уровни через систему технических тоннелей. Мы здесь, чтобы устранить эту угрозу и провести полную зачистку нижних уровней. Срочно пополните ваш боезапас и проверьте экипировку. Встречаемся через 5 минут у грузовых лифтов. Разойтись.
Да, эти твари действительно чертовски опасны. Советую прихватить как можно больше боеприпасов. Вы об этом уж точно не пожалеете.
So it sounds like we're gonna have another little mini tutorial. Like the first game, we had a couple tutorials while we were on the base still. Looks like similar sort of weapons. Quite a long switch time between them, though. We got our Tokarev. I think that's a Tokarev, right? Got our AK. Kind of a weird reticle there, but I guess we got Predator vision now. We've got our battle helmet, which, just like the original mod, you could pull down to take less damage but see less. But here it seems like it doesn't block your vision that much. We've got our flashlight. Alright, so this takes place just after the end of the first game, where it kind of ends, to a bit of a spoiler here, the cliffhanger is that the laboratory that we saved with the scientist lady got swarmed by mutants at the end, even though we supposedly killed their brain, the psychic blob. So I guess now we're going to find out how our guy ended up getting injured between the first game and the second. It's kind of neat if it jumps back and forth like that. And this does look fairly similar. I assume it's probably the same map design since, you know, the same guy is making it.
Я бы на вашем месте был начеку.
Alright. Now I don't know where the armory would be, since I don't think there's an actual armory here. There's supposed to be a factory, even if it's not just a factory.
Говорят, на нижних уровнях какая-то чертовщина происходит.
I guess we do actually need to find it though, because we only have one magazine for our AK. Okay, we already got a helmet. Got our body armor. Grenades. No, please don't switch the grenades. Oh, okay, I'll take this PKM. Didn't really start with one last time. But again, since this is a flashback, we're not going to get to hold on to this, I think. We'll have to find new weapons again. Okay, so we got our painkillers, which are our healing item. The pills would numb the pain. At least for a while. So this is a quick tutorial. Doesn't seem like we're going to have to go to a shooting range or anything to... Alright, so it's still got those sort of mid-level Half-Life loading screens. But considering the Zash engine has the lambda symbol instead of an A, I'm assuming that this is actually a modified version of the original Half-Life engine. Which might explain some of the limitations, though it does definitely look better. It can support higher res. You know, it doesn't look amazing or anything, but as sort of a new game on an old engine, it looks alright. The weapon models are definitely pretty detailed. We're going to stick with the AK for now, just because it's reliable. does seem that they slowed things down. Like even the iron sighting takes a little bit longer. So it's got that sort of depth of field effect when we aim. Alright, so service elevators.
Майор, ну что ты там возишься? Давай быстрее сюда в лифт.
I mean, you're kind of blocking the elevator.
Ждать у ворот.
I will say the loads are actually fairly long. I'm cutting them out here, but also it kind of makes it look like the game crashes before it's done loading. It sort of freezes up and...
Двигай поршнями. Как же я устал от всего этого дерьма.
Alright, so now we're in potentially hostile territory. Some zombie mutants around. Maybe another one of those spider legs guys. Now, the first game had some licensed music in it from a Russian band, but I wonder if this is going to do the same. That sort of kicked in and drowned out everything whenever there was a fight going on. The squad went that way. This is a dead end, right? Just looking in case there's some bullets or something over here. Nope, it's another dead end. Don't want to miss anything. I recognize these shafts. I believe they said that these might escape through the ventilation tunnels, so they should be around here somewhere. I think I heard the sound of a monster nearby. What is that? Is that just our painkillers? The music's getting pretty dramatic considering nothing's really happening yet. So these guys are a little awkwardly animated, but that's okay. I'm sure we don't spend that much time with guys following us around.
Майор, открой ворота.
Не расслабляйся, майор. До отпуска еще далеко.
Yeah, we already did that game. Alright, so what do we need to do here? I guess we have to go up and find a switch.
Найдите пульт и активируйте ворота. Мы снова возвращаемся в этот ад.
I'm working on it. Another mag there.
Сейчас будет жарко.
Бойцы, внимание! Всем быть начеку. Открывать огонь без предупреждения. Знаете, там наших нет.
Alright, we're going with Marilyn Manson's soundtrack from the first Resident Evil movie, I guess. Not the worst thing to use here. don't know. I don't remember there being a lot of zombies in Counter-Strike originally. There's quite a few of them down here. Carry more grenades. I think I might have just got shot by one of my teammates. No, he's not ready to come in yet. Just a whole brain there. Just fell right out of someone's head. I wish we had a shotgun here. And then just cuts off. Alright, let's bump that down a little bit. Nope. Okay. We have reached the end of the battle music. But yeah, I think I got shot in the back by one of my teammates there. Took a little bit of armor damage. Alright, so that was a lot more than just a few escaping zombies, but they weren't very smart. Can't go through there. I was just wondering if we reloaded without emptying our mag, whether we'd keep it or not. But it looks like a typical video game thing where you save the ammo, which is good. Realism and tedium don't have to be the same thing. Alright. Now, is there more of them? Oh, there's more of them. With a gun.
Ты мешаешь мне пройти.
Wait, was that one of our guys that shot me from this side? Nope. That's a zombie with a gun. Alright.
Поцелуй меня в бронеплиту.
Now, is this a zombie, or is this one of the clone soldiers with a shirt? Because they didn't have shirts. Made them kind of easy to spot. Just some chunks here. Just making sure I lost a lot of health and armor there. And that was my only painkillers. Alright, so definitely going to want to find a med kit. Ah, skeleton zombie lady. Is she gonna be fast? Nope. There's actually a pretty neat part when you first fight zombies in the first game, where you sort of look around and there's no way to progress, and then one of the bodies on the ground turns and looks at you and gets up. Which, again, spoilers, but, you know. I have a feeling if you haven't watched that, or gone back to watch it before watching this, you're probably not going to watch it after this, so spoilers ahead. Alright, so we found ammo, but that's not really what I needed. I've still got plenty of bullets. Got some PKM ammo off that guy.
Майор, сейчас что, подходящее время?
Is it really time to talk to me? Make sure your team's okay? So far things are seeming pretty similar to the first game, which is good. I was a little worried when they said they were making a sequel that they were gonna overreach and make it a little, you know, too ambitious, though these guys really need to run faster, holy shit. Their animation is, you know, it's one of those things where the animation does not match up with the actual speed they're moving, so they look like they're running in slow motion. Is that a... I can't use that as armor. You can't just duct tape helmets to myself like you do in other games. Or like Wolfenstein, where you just tape pieces of robots to yourself. Alright, we could run down that tunnel, but there's probably nothing there. They do seem to have gone a little bit with realism for the actual map designs, in that there are places that are not important at all, that are still there. Okay, let's see what's going on up here. Probably another switch. And more grenades, which we can't carry. Actually, how do I even switch to grenades? We've already got 5 of them, I guess that's our max. Can I? Okay, it looks like I can't, you know, charge it up and then throw it, like Stalker. Guess we're full up on 545s. And there's a mysterious duffel bag here. I wonder if this is related to the saboteurs, who are like American spies or something trying to steal research. Those dastardly Americans. Anyone else hear the meat sound? No? Alright, I guess I'll go open the door where the sound is coming from. You guys could, you know, help me with the obvious zombies over here. Nah, it's cool, I got it, don't worry about it. Oh. Did I kill that rat just by stepping on it? Alright, first aid kit. No armor, though. That's fine.
Конечно, это все некрасиво, но мы живы.
I think we've established there's quite a bit more than just a few now. Some blacklight? Are we gonna end up going back to the lab? Is that where we're going here? KROT-2? Alright. Where's this? Alright, that time the game actually did crash when trying to load here, but it's been auto-saving, thankfully, so... Otherwise, that would have been the end of the video.
Внимание всем! Командование приняло решение о полном уничтожении лаборатории Крот-1. Наша основная задача – установить взрывчатку в самой лаборатории, чтобы наконец поставить в этой истории точку. Продолжаем движение.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know why they didn't decide that when all the horrible things got out and they decided just to seal the laboratory instead of fucking blowing it up. I think they said something about there still being valuable research in here, and that's why they didn't want to destroy it. Alright, here comes the team. I remember this room. It's neat to kind of revisit all of these areas again.
Вот так надо выбивать из них дерьмо.
There definitely weren't any shooty zombies in the first game, though.
Нам на огонек еще народ. Готов.
Ты мешаешь мне пройти.
I'm a little concerned though about how the post this is gonna go. You know, when we get back to the future with the bloody hospital and all that. The fact that it's called Paranoia 2 Savior, you know, makes me a little concerned that it's gonna be some fucking chosen one bullshit.
На верхнем уровне. Только что было замечено несколько уродов на уровне К3. Нам нужно разделиться. ГУЛАГ, ваша группа обеспечит безопасность персонала, а мы в это время закончим зачистку нижних уровней. О времени детонации зарядов мы оповестим всех, как только все будет готово. Выполняйте приказ.
Wow.
Чё пялишься?
Alright, which one of you is
Как
Kulak?
же я устал от всего этого дерьма. Майор, двигай вперед. Я
Alright.
сзади буду, прикрою тыл.
You're with me, Cooley. I guess we just have to go through here to where the other laboratory is, the one with the clone soldiers, which I'm sure is not doing too well. I also liked that in the original mod, there were some enemies that you only saw once, and they weren't like bosses or mini-bosses or anything, they were just like unique enemies, which is something a lot of games don't even do. You know, I feel like that's more of a game. I feel like it's a lot of older games that have... Instead, you can stop shooting him. That have like enemies that you'll see in like one area of the game and then never again. So it's kind of neat to have unique enemies who are not supposed to be special, other than the fact that, you know, we don't see them again. That we would have to go in here. It's a little slippery though. I don't think I can just use it as a ladder. Oh, let's just keep going.
Двигай поршнями. План движения. Снова нас. Не отставайте. Потом пейзажами насладимся.
Are we all together again? Didn't we just split up? It's also kind of weird that I apparently start every level with no stamina.
Блин, чертов лифт барахлит. Знал же, что все не будет так гладко, как хотел.
Alright, so here's KROT2.
Промежуточный уровень К2. Давай поищем другой выход на действующий
I
уровень.
believe this is where the clone lab is. Unless they all kind of just look the same. Are you a
Так,
zombie?
здравствуйте, майор. Это вы? А я думал, это те мутанты меня уже нашли. Вижу, вас потрепало. Вы, наверное, направляетесь в Крот-3? Я как раз оттуда. Страшно представить, что там сейчас творится. Эти существа добрались туда по вентиляционным шахтам. Не знаю, выжил ли кто-то еще. Я добрался сюда, как только услышал сообщение по радио, что ваше командование решило все здесь уничтожить. Дело в том, что мы с вами сейчас находимся на уровне К2. Этот уровень включает в себя комплекс лабораторий Крот-2 и помещение архива. Меня интересует именно архив, ибо он хранит все отчеты научных исследований, патентов и прочие секреты за всю историю существования комплекса Крот.
Майор, пойди осмотрись пока, а я посмотрю проводку. Мало ли, может нам придется очень быстро отступать.
Alright. This is just a report by whoever was working the desk here. Civilian detainee to the insulator. Now, I believe this lab was also abandoned, but not because of horrible zombie outbreak. But because of, you know, let's build a new lab for a different kind of research. I feel like the lighting doesn't quite line up here. It's a bit too big.
Эти материалы очень важны, поэтому соберите все, что сможете, находясь в этом комплексе. Я буду пока здесь. И еще кое-что. Удачи, майор.
2501, I'm sure we're gonna need that. Alright, so we might actually have to call it soon here, because I kind of wanted to get to the end of this, you know, initial follow-up section, but it might actually be longer than I thought. So this seems mostly true to the original. You know, the shooting and all that feels pretty much the same. And that was pretty well done in the original game, so, you know, no complaints there. Obviously, it doesn't look amazing for a modern game, but it's also free. It's not even a mod here, it's a free, straight-up standalone game. It doesn't require anything else to play, so, you know, it's getting a little bit of a pass on that end. Plus, I like these whole abandoned laboratories, and, you know, this team of Spetsnaz being sent in to deal with this sort of, I was going to say supernatural, but I guess just sort of science-y, horror-y bullshit, and not really being fazed by it. Though I did get kind of a "you are empty" impression from the intro there. And I wonder if we're going to be wandering around this, like, messed up Russian city afterwards. After whatever happens here breaks out. Ah, this is about some sort of battle suit. So if they fell over, it was really hard to get them back up, is what I'm getting out of this. So it's an exosuit, probably similar to the ones in Stalker, the sort of prototype exosuits that aren't, you know, perfect, but they still kind of improve you. Sounds pretty fancy. I should mention that when going through the options, one of the settings is suit audio volume, so I'm wondering if we're going to get one of those awesome sounding battle suits at some point. Old Russian surplus. I mean, that's pretty much what the exosuits in Stalker were. They were military prototypes that were considered, you know, a failure for what they were designed for. Alright, now we've got the Lebedev, I believe it was, that had the dog head that he kept alive entirely through machines, which, if you've never seen that video, pretty creepy, but also very interesting from a scientific perspective, since they basically beheaded a dog and attached it to a bunch of machines that let it survive perfectly fine. And the footage still exists, and I'm pretty sure it's just available on YouTube. But this looks like some sort of fancy version of that. Yeah, the auto-ejector was the original one. It's basically just a bunch of machines replacing all of the organs necessary to keep the brain functioning without, you know, dying of blood or oxygen loss. I guess blood would also be an oxygen loss, but you know what I mean. Highest priority, Politburo, the Motherland. So, militarized gas that turns people into monsters or makes them pass out. So is that KROT? T23 Paxilon hydrochlorate. Oh good, they were just trying to make something to knock the fuck out of civilians who decided to protest. That sounds like Russia. So it does what they want, except for in some cases where it makes them into a violent monster that is resistant to pain. Basically a zombie. It's a zombie virus. It just probably doesn't spread by bites or anything like that. Alright. Put the dog head in the robot suit. Even better. Killer robot dog. Sure, you could put a dog's brain into a robotics dog's body, but why not just give him a fucking robot Big Daddy body? I really hope that we have to fight a dog in a robot suit at some point. That would be amazing. So these are all, you know, archived projects I guess we're supposed to be picking up. I guess that's everything, right? I went through... do I have to, like, pick up all these off the floor, too? Some sort of kinetic weapon. We didn't really get any sort of... Sorry, I'm just kind of skipping through these now. We didn't really get any sort of prototype weapons or anything, even though we were digging through a laboratory, which you'd think typically in a video game you would get. Wonder Skin... There's all sorts of projects. You can see no one else went through here and tried to fucking clean these up. Alright, well, I think I'm going to call it here. Now that we have that sort of cliffhangery information of stuff that may or may not appear later in the game. But yeah, this actually looks, you know, pretty good. I was a little worried, as I said, when they first announced it, but this all seems to be pretty equivalent to what was in the original. And again, this is a free download, so if you want to play through this yourself...
ведущий туда, находится на территории архива. Поищите еще там. Кстати, ваш товарищ уже направился к вам.
And, you know, much like the first game, I think I might actually go back and do a playthrough of this once I've, maybe played a bit more of it myself, or who knows, maybe I'll just go through this blind this time, since the last one I actually ended up... I pretty much ended up playing through all of it the day after doing that original First Impressions video, so who knows. Anyhow, I've been Shadefire, this is Paranoia 2 Savior, and I'll put up the download link, of course, in the description, and you all have a good day. Because, you know, you're probably having a better day than the Major here. You folks all take care.